Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Cobra TV, and this is another segment of Indie TV. At Cobra TV, we have always covered indie games that are in development, and that's one of the reasons we came across No Man's Sky. We've been uploading quite a bit of videos of No Man's Sky rather than a whole bunch of other indie games, but we have here and there. But now we're going to increase the number of indie games that we are going to cover, and one of the ones that I got a chance to play months ago, Infinity Battlescape. But keep in mind, we will be following the development of the updates for No Man's Sky. We will be following the development of the crashes, them fixing the game, them hiring the QA team, and so on, and plus gameplay and so many other things concerning No Man's Sky. And the What Planet Were You Born On video will be coming out very soon. But the game I want to talk about today is Infinity Battlescape, another space game. Space games are they're on the increase, they're on the rise, and that's so amazing, and I'm so glad. But space games come in all shapes and sizes. A lot of them, people like to say that they're exactly like each other, but they're not. There are things that make them all different. It's kind of like racing games or fighting games. You know, they're all pretty much the same thing, but there's something that makes every racing game and fighting game a little bit different, and Infinity Battlescape seems like, as far as all these space games that I've seen come out with Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous, Infinity Battlescape actually, I don't know, there's just something about it that really draws my attention to it, although I do love Star Citizen a lot. But Infinity Battlescape is a 2-scale solar system where you can fly around in and set up these wars that you can, get involved in and shoot. There's a lot of PvP, but don't be afraid just yet. It's not just all PvP. They do have non-combat multiplayer that you can get involved in, and we will talk about that a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk about the core of the game. The overview says it's an epic space sim where hundreds of players wage war across a seamless, procedurally generated, true-to-scale solar system. Infinity Battlescape is a multiplayer space sim involving hundreds of players split across 3 competing corporations of the Starfold Confederacy, fighting for control of a procedurally generated, true-to-scale solar system filled with planets, moons, asteroid belts, and other celestial phenomenon. Seamless planetary transitions will bring combat from deep space to the surface of alien worlds. The primary goal will be to destroy your enemies and their infrastructures through orbital bombardment and capital ships and an array of smaller spacecraft, including bombers, interceptors, and corvettes. Then it goes on further to talk about gameplay. Engage hundreds of players in epic space battles, seamless interplanetary warfare, Newtonian physics with different flight models for atmosphere and space, offline sandbox mode for exploring and trying out different ship weapon combinations. So there is an offline sandbox exploration mode, which I think a lot of people might enjoy, but also there is non-combat multiplayer as well. But then it goes on to say, a match begins with each team being allocated some combination of space station, planetary bases, factories, and AI-controlled defense turrets. Each player will start with a moderate amount of credits with which they can buy ships and equipment. Every couple of minutes, a factory spawns a cargo ship, will transfer raw material to the nearest space station or planetary base for processing into credits. These credits are split evenly among the players of the team. However, if the cargo ship is destroyed, its owners lose the credits. Players are able to donate credits to other members of their team so they can pool resources. Now, when they made credits, this is just an in-game economy. They've already promised that this is going to be a buy-once game, and there's not going to be any subscriptions to this whatsoever, which that is definitely good news. And then it goes on to say, our $1.5 million stretch goal is to make Battlescape semi-persistent with the opportunity for players to build infrastructure. You will be able to place new space stations, planetary bases, and factories. Space stations will come in 2 different sizes, large and small. Both small space stations and planetary bases can spawn small to medium-sized spacecraft, large space stations, the only entity in the game capable of spawning, rearming, and refueling capital ships. So the game sounds really super amazing, and what they're adding in is things to do on the planets. Now, the planets are beautiful. They are really beautiful. Reminds me of Space Engine. But when the planets, what are you going to do on them? There really is nothing to do on them except for they're just a backdrop they're real. They're real planets here and there. I mean, they're not real, but you know what I'm saying. But they're there to create an epic scene for you to be chased or to chase somebody onto a planet and have an area to fight on. You cannot get out of your ship in Infinity Battlescape, but the planets are there for you to chase somebody in a dogfight, you know, fly through the canyons, have a place to fight, or have a planet that you can take over. Now you can, as far as I can see, I think you can put the bases on these planets so that way you can go down and get refueled and rearmed. So one of the things you could do is enter an enemy's planet and take out those factories so they cannot rearm, they cannot refuel. But the planets are not there to explore on foot. But the non-combat gameplay for multiplayer is, you know, they're going to be adding things like racing. And they have a video showing the racing, an example of the racing, somebody going through canyon and he's going through these checkpoints. So there's going to be things like that where you can set up little gameplay for people to go in and just match make a race on a particular planet. The game seems really amazing to me. It is going to be only on PC at the moment, and it's going to be PvP mostly, and it's pretty much just what it reminds me of, I think so far from what I read, is PlanetSide 2, but in space. And you know, I love PlanetSide 2, it's a great game, but the footage that you are seeing here is completely and utterly prototype footage. They don't even have like alpha footage yet. What's good about iNova Studios is that they are super transparent. They open up their guts, so to speak, and let people see their rough draft of what they're working on. So the things that you're seeing, this is not what the game's actually going to look like. This is just them throwing it together and saying, hey guys, look what we've got. This is what we started on. This is what we're going to build on. And they're really transparent, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us with Infinity Battlescape. Let me know in the comment section down below if you would like to hear more, because we have more to talk about with Infinity Battlescape. So if you'd like to hear more, let me know down below. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I love you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time.